This is Mr. T. I pity the fool who don't listen to the X and Y show.
The opinions expressed on the X and Y show are the sole opinions of the host. Please note, there is no intentional desire to offend any member of the listening audience. With that said, if you still feel offended, tough shit.
It's time for the X and Y show with your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y show.
Oh yeah. Sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
And greetings. Welcome to another segment of the XY Show, and I'm your host, Roosevelt. Did not do a show last week. Still kind of getting over my flare, gout flare. For those of you who don't know, you should know by now if you've been listening to me. I get one like every year and a half or so it's not regular, but when it happens, that shit hurts. Yeah. So I was like, I was gonna record last week, and I was like, fuck it, I ain't doing shit. And I was, taking some perks, feeling good, you know what I mean? Taking the pain away and, rubbing that tiger rub, giving them free advertising, but anything, drinking water, just anything so the pain could stop, but for those of you who are familiar with gout, it takes a while. Flare-ups just don't. It's not like they hang around a while. But I will say I'm on the downside of it, so it's going away. I would say it's almost gone, but not quite all the way. So anyway, apologize for last week, but and I really wanted to talk last week because there was a lot of buzz going around about a certain topic, but I'm a little late. But oh well, better late than never. But I definitely want to get my twist on this. I'm not even going to open any. I'm not even going to talk about any letters tonight. I'm not opening any letters from anyone. I'm going to jump straight into this topic because I think it's something that really needs to be addressed. I'm going to give my take on it, then I'm going to move on. But I had to talk about it. I mean, for those of you who don't know, I think a couple of weeks ago now, or a week and a half, whatever it was, there's a certain young lady, I say that because she's not old, middle-aged woman, not really middle-aged, pre-40s. She's 39. Her name is Ebony K. Williams. And she was on the Housewives show, and I never watched it, but she's on there. She's an attorney. So she's very successful. She's no dummy, very affluent. So she was asked last couple of weeks ago, whatever it was, on a podcast or some type of media show. Would she date a bus driver? And her initial answer was if he owned the company. And the lady immediately, who's, I forget the name of the woman. She's kind of cute too for an older lady. But she immediately, said, that's wrong. And, I started digging into this, and I also heard her on the Breakfast Club, and her and DJ Envy going back and forth. And, she was trying to actually defend her position. And, I don't know why everyone was so surprised about that, to be honest. I at this point in my life, I'm not surprised by anything I hear coming from women. Now, I'm going to say some shit tonight that's going to piss a lot of women off, but you guys need to hear this shit. You need to hear it. So I'm going to go in on y'all's ass tonight. This is definitely an X show. It's not an X and Y. This is X tonight. I don't know, why everybody's in the uproar, but to be honest with you, I expect to hear that from that type of woman. And I don't know her from Adam's apple. I don't know anything about her except what's on her Wik page. I don't know her personally. But from the aura that she gives off, it's pretty obvious to me what she's all about. It's pretty evident what she's all about. But, I don't want to just jump and single her out. There's a whole group of women that is a part of this. She's not the only one. She just said out loud what a lot of women think. And I'm going to get real deep now. I'm going to get specific. Not only, I'm talking, not women in general, I'm talking black women. That's right, I said it. It's time for somebody to say it. I don't know why, everybody keep beating around the fucking bush and, all this bullshit and, especially black women. Now, I'm not saying that white women don't say that. I'm not saying that Hispanic women don't say that. But I hear more black women saying who they will not date if they are not above a certain financial standard. Like I said again, before you write your emails and send me your tweets, I'm not saying that other women do not say it. White women say it, Hispanic women say it. I don't hear Asian women saying it, though. But anyway, not saying they don't say it, but I'm what I am saying, I hear it mostly from the sisters. I hear it mostly from the sisters. Back in the day, and I grew up in a neighborhood from, it was a good neighborhood. If you look it up, Richmond Heights. Very good neighborhood. Everyone knew each other. Good place to grow up. And I knew certain people in the neighborhood that the couples, I knew a couple where the woman was a teacher. Well, actually two couples where the women were teachers. Back in the day, for a woman to be a teacher, that was something. Back in those, we talking about back in the day, back in the 50s, 60s and shit. When they got their degrees. And they were married to custodians. They were married to janitors. And it went good. The ones that I knew one that was married to a mechanic. And they all had homes. They all had good families. strong 2-parent household families. And that's what we've lost. That's what we lost. And it's because of, the black woman. I'm not cutting no corners tonight. Not tonight. It's because of the standards of the black woman, of saying who and what and won't she will not date. If he don't make this, can't do nothing for me. It's all about the finances, all about the money that a man make. I know plenty of assholes who make a lot of money, six figures. I mean, deep in the six figures, 3, 4s, and 5s. They're assholes. They treat women like shit. But that's what women are looking for. It doesn't matter. If he's making a certain amount of money, he's good. He's marriage material. Basing everything on finances. And like I said again, it's mostly the sisters. And now I'm gonna give you another statistic. Black women compared to white women. I'm just gonna do black compared to white women. The difference is when black women come to the table with all that bullshit, all that Steve Harvey bullshit, it's not getting them married. I only date this, I only date that, I only date this, I only date that. It's not getting them married. They're not married. So what does that do for the black family? It kills it. It kills the black family. Because black people are not getting married. And black people are largely not getting married because the standards of black women are too high. Fuck it, I'll say it. I'll say what nobody else will. This is the X and Y show, baby. I don't sugarcoat shit. The black families is being killed because of the high standards of the black woman. Fuck it. Say it. That's what's going on. Because you got all these sisters out here, all these bougie ass sisters saying they won't date this, they won't date that. He got to be making this, he got to be making that. And their ass not getting married. They're not getting married. They're killing the black family. That's why you have all these, a lot of people are saying that, well, Roosevelt is, it could be, other factors. There are other factors. Well, let me give you the statistic first. Then I'll talk about that. So this was in the year 2022. Amongst black people, 31.2% were married. Let me say that again. In 2022, and this is by the Journal of Blacks in Higher Education. So you can look it up. I'm not just making this shit up. 31.2% were married, blacks were married. 31.2% in the year 2022. 54% of whites were married. So let me say that again. Of the black population, only 31.2 were married, 31.2%. The white population, 54% were married. In 2022, over half the black population were never married. So we're talking about over 50%. For whites, only 27% were never married in 2022. So white folks get married. White women are getting married. Black people are not getting married, and it's because of the sisters with all these high-ass standards. In 2021, Get more specific now. 28.6% of the black women were married in the year 2021. Let me say that again. In 2021, 28.6% of black women were married. Not they can't even round up to 30%. Can't even round up to 30%. That's fucked up. Now, amongst white women, 52.4% were married. You see the difference. White women are getting married. You know why? You know, when they're in their 20s, and I've seen this many times, they're in their 20s, they go out with the biffs and the pawpaws and all the guys that stay in the gym all day. But when they hit a certain age, when they hit like them late 20s and early 30s, that shit go out the window. It's like a bell ringing in a white woman's head. It's time to stop all this bullshit. It's time to get married. It's time to get married. And white women, the difference between white women and black women, white women typically, now I'm not saying this, there are always exceptions to the rules, but typically white women don't give a fuck how much money the guy's making. Now, like I said, there's an exception to the rules. There's some bougie ass white women out there as well. But for the most part, you have white women that say, okay, he's a mechanic. Fuck it. He's a good provider. He's a nice guy. I'm going to marry this motherfucker. Okay, he's an electrician. He don't make that much money. I mean, he makes about $65 a year if he works a lot of overtime. But I'm going to marry this motherfucker. He's a provider. Oh, this guy, he's a head plumber. Okay. That's, it's not what I dreamed about. It's not a doctor, not an attorney. But I'm going to marry this dude. He's a good provider. He's going to be a good father to our kids. He's stable. And I love him. Can you dig it? I love him. All that other bullshit go out of the window. Now, on the other side, you got the sisters. Would they date plumbers? Fuck no. Now, not all sisters are like that. I'm not saying all the sisters are like that. You have some sisters that will date a plumber. You have some sisters that will date a mechanic. You have some sisters that will date a bus driver and marry him. But it's not enough that will. It's not enough that will. You have a lot of sisters out there that they wait damn near till they have a foot in the grave and they still don't budge of those standards. Same standards then when they had it in their 20s. They damn near in their damn 60s now. I'm still waiting. I'm going to get me a lawyer if I have to wait forever. If I can't get a lawyer, then I'll just die. And that's what they do. Die alone. In the meantime, the black families are suffering because there are none. There are no black families. So a lot of you are saying, why are you, Roosevelt, why are you blaming the black woman? Well, it goes back. A lot of you saying, well, maybe it's other reasons. It is. High incarcerations. A lot of brothers are in jail. That contributes to it too. It's not as many black males to marry. But when you think about it, when you go back, why is that? Why are those black males, why so many of them are incarcerated? How many of them grew up in a single parent household? How many grew up with no father figure in their lives? Because so many, mothers are saying, I don't need a man. With the black population of women, a lot of them are, pretty much saying they don't need us. They don't need us. So a lot of them have babies, and that they get pregnant and they tell the man, get the fuck on. I've seen that many times. I know some of you have seen that. I don't need you to come around. Don't worry about paying child support. Just get the fuck on. I got this. And they don't. They don't. So that's why, it's a cycle. It's a circle. Yeah, there's not many black men to marry. A lot of them are incarcerated. But why is that? Because they're coming from single parent households. The institution of marriage is not important unless they can get what they want. And I'm talking about the black woman. They don't give a fuck about marriage unless they can get exactly what they want. They don't budge on those standards. I want a lawyer. I want a doctor. I want an athlete. Got to be making 6 figures. Got to be making 7 figures. These 1%er motherfuckers. These motherfuckers are so rare. You got a better chance of getting hit by lightning and shit if you meet one. Yet they still, black women still go after them until the very end. I'm going to get one. White women throw that shit out in the late 20s, early 30s. All that bullshit is out of the window. It's time to get real. It's time to face reality. I can't get one. So I'm gonna get what's real. I'm gonna get this dude who going to work every day, handling his business. He's a provider. He got a house. He's gonna be a good father one day. He's gonna be a good father to my children. We're gonna be a 2-parent household. We're gonna raise these kids together. And I love him. Can you dig it? There's no love in the black community when it comes to the sexes. Black women literally hate us. And I know a lot of them are always talking that bullshit that we hold you down and we got your back and all this bullshit, but it's not true. Because so many of you say, we don't want you unless you're this. We don't want you unless you're that. Now, I'm not saying all of them. There's always exceptions to the rules. But a lot of them. There are a lot of Ebony Williams out there. I don't date a bus driver. Fuck no. Not me. Heard another doctor. She has a podcast, actually. It's called something. I forget the name. But anyway. She tried to sugarcoat it. Somebody asked her, would you date a bus driver? She said some bullshit. Well, if he doesn't have my up and Adam, no. Meaning, like, I like to go and get, when I take a trip, I like to get first class when I go to Hawaii. If he can't get first class, then we're not rocking. What? The fuck? It's all about the money, all about the finances. And that's some sad shit, because it makes you wonder if, this 1%er, if y'all do hit the jackpot and get one, what if he lose it? Money come and go. Anything can happen. What if he loses it? Then what? I don't think that the women that are waiting for these guys are capable of love. I think if they're lucky to get a 1%er, if something happens, they're out the door. They're not going to stick around. They're not going to fight the fight with you together until they might stick around for 1 or 2 weeks. Shit. Third week, all right, motherfucker, I'm out. Fuck this. They're not in it for the long haul. They don't love you. They love what you are. They love the status. They love you being affluent. They don't love you. So they're starting off fake. So, those women are incapable of love. Women like Ebony Williams. And I don't want to seem like I'm badging her, but, her type. She's not the only one. There's a bunch of them. There's millions of them out there. Literally. And a lot of them are looking like me. I'm keeping it real. I'm not sugarcoating shit for y'all tonight. Y'all need to hear this shit. I know a lot of you are cursing me out right now. A lot of you going to be sending me emails. Fuck you, Roosevelt. You don't know what you told me. You hate the sisters. I don't hate the sisters. But y'all need to hear this shit. I love this. I hope y'all wake up. Y'all need us. We need you. If we don't come together, in the future, the black family is going to be non-existent. And more black men are getting married because, you know why? Because black men are marrying white women. Black men are marrying Hispanic women. Black men are marrying Asian women. They're marrying everything but the sisters. It's not because they don't want to marry the sisters. The sisters don't want to marry them. Because they don't reach a certain tax bracket. They're a bus driver. They're a plumber. They're an electrician. They're a custodian. Blue collar workers. So they don't reach a certain status. So they're not wanted. But other women are getting them. Other women are getting them. That's why you see these white women who are dime pieces, and you see their husbands, he looks like Quasimodo. Shit. And you say, damn, how did that happen? You know why? Because Quasimodo got a job, HVAC repairman, make a decent living between 40 and 60 a year. Got a house, got 2 cars, got a kids, got a white picket fence, and a dog. And she love him. It's not all about the finances, not all about the money. And that's what has gone away from the black couple. More so on the black women's side. They don't love us anymore. Now, I'm not, like I keep saying this, I'm not talking about all of them, but a lot of them. Too many. I told you the marriage statistics. A lot of them. They don't love us anymore. They don't want us anymore unless we're making a certain amount of money. You a bus driver, get the fuck out of my face. You a plumber, get the fuck out of my face. I don't give a fuck if you're a good guy. Fuck a good guy. A good guy can't pay my bills. A good guy can't take me to France. A good guy can't take me to Ruth Chris when I want to go. Fuck a good guy. I need a rich guy, a successful guy. That's another thing that equates to success. If you're not making that certain amount of money, then you're not successful. You just a motherfucker that's working and living and existing. But I've seen more people, I've seen more motherfuckers that are not affluent, who are what I would call successful, than I've seen people who are in the 1%. I've seen a lot of people who are blue collar workers, who holding things down, who go to work every day, come home, love their families, being good father figures to their kids, and loving their wives. No, that they don't have much financially, but they love their wives. They love their families. That's what it's all about. Not all about finances. We've lost our way as a community. And I'm going to be more specific. The black women have lost their way in the community. Fuck it. I know a lot of you going to be mad at me. What's wrong with him? Why he hate black women? I don't hate black women. I love black women. But you are ruining the black family. You are turning us away because we don't make a certain amount of money. And me personally, I'm not a blue collar worker. I make good money. But I wasn't always like that. I mean, years ago, I was, still fucking around. And I was doing blue collar shit. And I know how it is. And that's why, I see how fucked up it is. By, just the amount of money a man can make could disqualify him from having a family. Do you hear what I'm saying? The money a man makes could disqualify him from having a family, at least with a black woman. Now, there are white women that are scooping black dudes up on a daily. They scooping their asses up like a scoop of ice cream in the summertime. And Hispanics right behind them. Asians too. Oh, black men are very good. Black men, very good man. Everybody getting a black man. Everybody getting what the black woman don't want. Unless he's making a certain amount of money. So, I just want to say my little piece on that. It didn't surprise me that, Ebony K. Williams said that. She only said what a lot of black women feel. A lot of black women feel that way. She only said it out loud. Until that changes, and I don't see it changing. Me personally, this is my opinion. This is what my prediction is. I think the black family is going to continue to decline. There's going to be less and less and less marriages of black couples. Black men are going to be getting married, but they're going to be marrying other women from other races. They're going to be marrying white women. They're going to be marrying, the Hispanics, Asians, They're going to be marrying them. They're not going to be marrying the black women. Not because they didn't want to, because the black women don't want them if they're not making a certain amount of money. So unfortunately, that's going to kill the black family even more. It's going to cause more incarceration from our young black brothers. All this shit is connected. When I grew up around two family households. Everybody had a mom and dad in the house. Everybody. And there are a lot of mothers that were teachers and nurses and shit. Married to plumbers, electricians, mechanics, AC repair, TV repairmen. But they did all right. Because they married a man. They didn't give a fuck about finances. They married a man who they loved. Can you dig it? It's a different day and age now. Black women do not love us. Unless we're making a certain amount of money. Just say just say it. We are insignificant if we're not in a certain tax bracket. We're irrelevant. So no, it doesn't surprise me what Ebony K. Williams said. And I'm not mad at her. She has a preference. That's her business. But what I'm saying is the consequences of her preference and black women who think like her, it is ruining the black family. So, all you sisters out there saying that I hate the black sisters, that's not true. But I feel that if we are not making a certain amount of money, the sisters hate us. And actions speak louder than words. They don't want to marry us unless we make this. They don't want to be with us unless we make that. Are you a good man? Who gives a fuck? You make good money. Bus drivers are good dudes too, sisters. You ought to go out and get one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode of the XY Show. Be sure to check out any episodes you may have missed. You can go to my website. You can also check me out on social media. I'm on Tumblr, Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can check all of that out on my website, which is www.xyshow.com. Be sure to follow me. Send me feedback. Let me know how you feel. Without further ado, I will see you next week. And I want you always to remember, you cannot have love without X and Y. Later.
You've been listening to The X and Y Show with your host, Roosevelt Colbert, the place where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. Join us next time. You can now put your clothes back on. Or not.